Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Shreveportant podcast. I'm Jay Wadley. It's been a while, but of course we're back. We're happy to be back, and now we're back in a full-fledged schedule, and I'm so pumped up about that. I am very excited about our Shreveportant guest today because this is one I've been trying to get. I've been trying to reel this big fish in for some time now, and today we finally got the big fish. Today, ladies and gentlemen, our Shreveportant guest is Keith Carter with your Shreveport Rouxgaroux, your new arena football attraction that's right here, right in the thick of their season right now. And, of course, they're playing at Georges Pond Hirsch Coliseum. Keith Carter, thanks for coming on today, man.
Thank you, man. I look forward to this.
Me too, dude. Even before the preseason game, I was like, let's go. I got it. I want to put on the pads.
Right.
I want to get on the field.
Absolutely.
I want to die a horrible grizzly death.
Right.
And I want to do it wearing a Rouxgaroux helmet.
Absolutely.
First and foremost, I think I speak for the entire community when I say how excited I was when I saw the announcement that arena football was coming back to Shreveport. It's a sport that was here for a while. It was across the river in Bossier City, but it did develop a fan base, and you could kind of see the hard-hitting action up close. And then for reasons not to be named here, that team went away. It was very cool, at least for me, and I'm sure many others, just to see that a group of people were willing to bring arena football back to Shreveport. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, man.
And thank you and Shreveport and the entire Arklatex for welcoming us and kind of embracing this concept of bringing arena football back. So we're excited.
There's going to be a lot of thank yous going around, and I'll go ahead and give the next thank you out right now. A big thank you to my friends at Hargrove Roofing. They are Shreveported. You got to know who's on your roof. And listen, right now they're doing free inspections. We've had some hail lately. Maybe you're wondering what's going on your roof, or maybe you know you got a leak. It's a free inspection. Call my friends at Hargrove Roofing. They're super Shreveportant. My final thank you of the day.
I live under a Hargrove roof.
No, you do not.
Absolutely. Billy's a personal friend of mine and did a great job on my roof.
You know what I bet you love the most about living under a Hargrove roof? Lifetime warranty, baby.
Hey.
Who else can say that?
One text away, they'll come check it out. It's happened before. Absolutely.
Well, that's awesome. And this is not scripted. We did not go over this beforehand. And trust me, if I had a roof, it would be a Hargrove roof too.
Well,
working on the house part first.
Absolutely. I get it.
We'll figure it out. My final thank you of the day. Today is my, this is a big announcement actually. This is my severed innie Jay Wadley today. I went through the severance procedure so that my Audi would not have to experience life with the toe. So the toe is here. Hello, toe.
Hey.
How are you?
Toe is in the building and ready to rock.
Can you talk into that microphone?
Am I not loud
Yeah,
enough?
I mean, it was on the table.
Well, I know, but
I gave you the handheld today. I was looking out for you.
The toe is here and ready to rock.
Did you not get the Severance joke? Do you not watch Severance?
No, not at all.
Oh, wow. It's all I can think about. I just finished the second season, and it's going to be tough to get my mind off of Severance. So I knew at some point I would make a reference, and you just happened to be the butt end of that joke. So I'm sorry.
Well, I'm used to being the butt and the toe, so we're good.
I'm so excited that you got in the full toe garb today. Keith, what do you think? Could this guy play for the Rouxgaroux?
At least an auxiliary mascot.
The toe, the Rouxgaroux's toe. Oh, I like where this is going.
I'm excited, yes.
Look
Let's
at that.
make it
He's like
happen.
6'5". I think he could give you a couple snaps a night at O-line.
I'm impressed. In a uniform, I think that's impressive.
God, you know what? We want to get fans in the arena, and I do believe him in uniform would get fans out of the arena. I hate to say that.
Maybe a non-roster addition.
A non-roster addition. Does that? He's wondering, does that come with pay?
Maybe a little bit. At least a couple of cocktails.
Ooh! Now you're speaking the Toe's love language.
You are speaking the Toe's love language. Hey.
Thank you, Toe. It is good to be back. Now, back to the Rouxgaroux, the Shreveport Rouxgaroux. First and foremost, a great mascot. I mean, it is our chupacabra. It is our Bigfoot.
Yep.
It is very niche to here in Louisiana and Shreveport and our area. And so how did that come to be? Do you remember the earliest conversations of what are we going to be called? And did anyone have the idea, or was it a group deal?
Actually, it was one of the co-owner and offensive coordinator, Keith Russ.
Okay.
He, after 20 years of experience in arena football, the story, we were in a league that he got the expansion for and started trying to find a home. And when it moved very, very quickly. But when he knew he was coming to Louisiana, he knew he wanted to have something completely different that no one has.
Yeah.
And wanted colors and a mascot and a logo and a name that could not be replicated.
Yeah.
And we got the Rouxgaroux with all the X's, so go Rouxgaroux.
You got all the X's in there, baby. I love the mascot. I was always curious of how that came to be because it is great. In fact, I wondered, how has no one thought of that before? You know,
Right.
it's the perfect. And one could argue outside of the Mudbugs, obviously iconic naming and branding, but, you know, crawfish, Rouxgaroux, what's more Shreveport, what's more Louisiana?
And it just goes together.
Is there another, what league are you in?
So we're in the National Arena League.
Okay.
So this, our league office is in Omaha, Nebraska, 9 teams, and it's completely different league setup than any other arena football to indoor football that's set up.
Okay.
So in the historical perspective of arena and indoor football, people have owned the league and have owned the team.
Okay.
The National Arena League is set up exactly like another league that you're probably very familiar with, called the NFL.
Oh, I've heard of them, yes.
The teams that are components of the league own the league, a percentage of the league. So myself and the co-owners of the Rouxgaroux own 1/9 of the NAL.
Oh, wow.
So we actually pay dues, and we actually have a
And you have
league.
a voice, though? I'm sure you have a
We
voice
have
in
an
these
entire
NAL
league
meetings.
office. We have an executive commissioner. We have referees. We have compliance. We have marketing. We have an entire league office that we all put into to manage and pay for.
Okay.
So we have salary caps, trade deadlines, rosters. It is set up exactly like
That's exciting.
the NFL.
That's
So,
exciting.
It is what interests me about the whole concept is it's just as important as the other 8 teams succeeding, then
Right.
they're wanting the Rouxgaroux to succeed because we're actually together.
Yeah.
So it's we play football competitively,
When all boats rise with the tide, baby.
but we run businesses comparatively.
I enjoyed that. I don't. If I can't say this, then please stop me from saying it. I believe your first regular season game, you were playing the Beef.
First regular season game, we were playing the Beef, the
The Beef,
longest
yeah.
arena indoor football team in the history.
In the history of anything.
Of the history of anything. 22 years in the business.
Well, I was where I normally am
Yep.
when I'm at George's Pond. I was at the bar,
Yep.
the private bar, of course, yeah. And you were in there, and you were talking with the owner of the Beef.
Yes.
And you introduced me. I thought that was very nice of you to
Yes.
do that. And it was cool because you guys were just having a very cool collaborative. What's working? What's not working? You try this. You try this. We tried this. What do you think of this?
Unbelievable.
And you don't see that, and you don't. So I'm just like, there's the proof of it.
Yes.
I can't think of any other league where 2 owners would sit down and have a real, genuine, helpful to both sides conversation. I like that a lot.
Yeah, Ricky's now a very good personal friend of mine, business partner. I'm actually been invited. He called me and said, our second home game is this weekend. Y'all are on a bye. Fly up here. You have a la carte. You come see the workings behind that. So that's why this is going to work.
Right.
We go to Idaho next week. I've talked to the owner. Same thing. Get up there. Come to the office. Let's see everything that we're doing and how we're doing it, and all of our pieces and puzzles. Because we're an expansion team, right?
Yeah.
My partners have got a wealth of experience in football and arena football. But this is a new business for Shreveport. It's a new business for me. I've been to 3 arena football games.
All 3 for the Rouxgaroux?
All 3 for the Rouxgaroux. So
Yeah.
I'm the local guy that got involved.
Okay, so the co-owners
Yeah.
and the owners that are in there, they're not from Shreveport.
No.
They have football history. And so can I ask this? Why was Shreveport the destination? What was
It's a great
desirable
story.
about Shreveport?
Keith Russ played at Southern Miss, arena football coach. Richard Rogers played at Arkansas, arena football experience. Those two have been working together on and off, coaching in some ownership in different teams. They got an opportunity to get an expansion contract with the NAL, which makes sense.
Yeah.
They got the contract, and they started traveling around to find a location. They went to Oklahoma, they went to Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas. They're both from Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay.
They were always told that, well, there's a team in Hurst doing hockey. They don't want anything big arenas that you would put Chris Stapleton in and stuff like that. That may not be economy to scale for an expansion team.
Of course.
And the story is they pulled off Hearn Avenue,
Wow.
went in, saw a guy on a forklift, Scott Musket.
Yeah.
And the story is that, let's sit down and talk about this.
You know what's great? That story could be true no matter the time of day. They could have walked in at 4 a.m. and Scott Musket's in there on a forklift, or 4 p.m. and Scott Musket's in there on a forklift.
Yeah,
he
all the
lives
time.
there. I think
Yeah.
he gets his mail delivered there.
I think so. And him
But
and his
what a
3
legend!
security
What a
dogs.
great
Yeah.
guy! And I can
He's
only
the reason we're here.
right.
He's the reason
I
we're
can
here.
only imagine what that initial conversation was like when they met Scott, because he's so passionate about. Don't get me wrong. He's hyper passionate about the Mudbugs.
Yes.
But his passion is equaled for the city of Shreveport and for that arena and for the fans and the community that get to experience these events.
He is the most Shreveportant Canadian I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely he is. We had him on not too long ago, and it was like 2 hours later. I was
Yeah.
like, man, I don't want this to end.
Yeah.
But I got to pick up my kids. They've
Yeah.
been waiting on me for 2 hours.
Yeah, I get it.
He's great. So was it, and pardon me, was it
ahead.
love at first sight?
Well, here's the funny story. They pulled off of Hearn, met Scott. They had the expansion contract in their hand. They just needed to find an arena and a place to put roots.
Yeah.
They went in and started talking to Scott. Scott, the Mudbugs post, arena football is coming back, and put the logo up. 9:30 at night, I opened Facebook and went, okay, hold on a second.
Oh, wow.
I Facebooked the Rouxgaroux.
Yeah.
The next morning, Keith Russ and Richie are in my office. 2 weeks later, I'm an owner.
It's insane. So
Insane.
So what struck you? What was it for you personally when you see the announcement?
I'm in the healthcare business. I own a home health and home care. I have a lot of male patients that we put caregivers with. And
Okay.
I've always wanted to have something for them, right? Independence Bowl's great, but it's December. It's at night. It's cold.
It's a single night of the year.
Yep. And so hockey is colder in there, right?
It's
But
cold.
I always want. And I'm at that stage of my life. I got 2 grown daughters at LSU, and I wanted to diversify my portfolio. But I said this will work if it's done right. If this is localized, and we go back and get the roots in Shreveport, Bossier, the Arklatex, and we get the support that I think we can do, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of the success. They at the same time said, look, we've got an NAL contract. It's a great league. We got Scott Musket, and we're wanting to do something, but we know Shreveport and I-20 and Hearn Avenue. That's it. We don't know anybody.
Yeah.
I said, I want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks later, talking all night, researched the league, we just said, let's do this thing. And I went all in with giving them support. So they're the arena football operations, sports marketing, game day ops. Their specialty is putting all those pieces together. I want to say that my specialty is bringing the local contacts, the local media face. Not a very pretty face, but it is the face.
Welcome to my world, man.
Yeah,
we got to make do.
and kind of giving some business support and helping kind of coordinate the business piece.
Well, can I say this? And I would say this if your co-owners were here and you were not. I would say exactly what I'm about to say. So don't think I'm blowing smoke, because I ain't that kind of guy. I've got a privilege now, 2 games with the Rouxgaroux, just being there and watching it. And for me, I'm not really watching the game. I'm watching the fans. And, man, by the way, your crowds have been great.
They've been great.
They've been amazing. And they're into it. They're merched out. Like, they are all the way in on the brand. That does not happen with just a good football team.
Correct.
And you know this well, which is why I'm saying to you, just like I would say to them or anyone else, that local piece is so critical and crucial. And I'd imagine all over the country that piece is overlooked when these owners come in and expand and they move cities and they go somewhere else. What I'm watching when I'm at a Rouxgaroux game is I'm watching behind the bench at the 5 Rouxgaroux players who are not in the game in that moment, and they're turning around having legit conversations with kid fans on the other side. Like it's built for hockey, so the setup's a little weird, but very intimate, and it's genuine. Players do not have to do that. Now that's one piece. Every time there's a stoppage in play, a TV timeout, as we say in the inside baseball world, you have fans on the field, and you're doing a game, and the fans are into it. But you personally, I was looking for you last game, and I couldn't find you. because you're not in your suite, because you're talking to the fans and you're talking to your partners and you're talking to the sponsors and you're everywhere. And that is so important because, like I said, just having we've had a lot of successful sports teams, a ton of them here in Shreveport. The ones that last are the ones that get that.
We're trying.
The team and the record is great, but that doesn't carry over year to year to year to year. It's the connection that you make in the community, and I think you guys hit the ground running.
We've been pleasantly surprised. We're of course disorganized because we're organic. We have no front office. We have no employees.
Yeah.
The 3 owners are actually working. I've got 2 of my directors that come do the merch stand for me that work at Always Best Care.
Wow.
I've got our fan club director, Heather Fontenot, shout out. She's volunteering, and she's worked 100 hours in the last 2 weeks.
Unreal.
I've got another volunteer that works in media that's helping us do promotions in media. And then the entire Encompass Sports, Hirsch, George's Pond, Mudbug operation, from vendors to ticket booths to parking lot to game day to management to setting everything up, is turnkey for us.
Yeah.
We're paying them for that, but we could not do this without that, right?
Right.
So there's no employees of the Rouxgaroux walking around. Our equipment guy is Keith Russ's son. Our mascot is a volunteer that is helping us out. So
We got to get that mascot to my holes, by the way.
yeah, we're working on that. We're working on
my
that.
man was bumping into everything the other night. I was like, dude, he's got a handler behind him.
Yeah.
You know?
So the handler is because, it is a Rouxgaroux. It's half man, half werewolf.
It's a Rouxgaroux.
And, he eats cattle, so we're not sure what he's going to do. So we have the handler's helping him, but it's actually making sure he doesn't go off on somebody,
You
right?
see a little kid out there, man. Looks like a good meal to me.
So, to say all that is to say it's organic, right? And we're just looking for support. We're looking for help and patience. But if we can set roots in this thing organically, this is something that's going to give back to Shreveport, to Bossier, to the Arklatex tenfold.
Yeah, and you can already kind of see that, the sprinkling in of that. You're at schools, you're in the community.
Huge outpouring. We had this idea, and this is another thing. I'll brag on my players. We got 25 guys on the roster, 21 dress out. And these are professional athletes. Most all of them had D1 experience, some D2. Some have played in the Canadian, XFL, UFL, some with NFL experience.
Right.
But these are the most professional athletes that I have personally been around. The dedication of what they're doing, because it's been tough. They don't make a lot of money. We've had issues with different things, but their dedication to their craft, their name, image, and likeness, their dedication to the Rouxgaroux, their dedication to Shreveport, it's unmatched.
Yeah, and it was immediate. It was after the first preseason game, I believe, for at least an hour, I didn't see any player go to the locker room.
No.
They're on the field, and it's open. I mean, fans of the Rouxgaroux can walk onto the field, or at least and that night I'm watching these players just move from group to group to group to group to group to group, just meeting people. That's crazy. These people they're trying to get out and go to big country. They're trying to go party, but still they have the thought process, which is insane to me, to sit there and have that many conversations. That's what's, I mean, like I said it again, like that's gonna propel.
And I got to shout out to so many people, but we've got 4 different independent media people that are volunteering to come in and take the 150 pictures and put them on. And if I knew them all, I would give them. But from you to they're volunteering to come help us because they know they want to give back. So these players are getting these pictures of their interactions that the players are so proud of now. And you get up in our thing, if you're up close. Right, we've turned those hockey suites into football suites. So players are coming over the side.
Yeah,
if you catch
those footballs are flying.
Footballs are flying. You catch a football, you keep it. You catch a player, you got to throw them back. Right.
Yeah, we're gonna need them back.
Yeah, we're gonna need that one back. But their kids are catching these footballs, right? And so Heather went to the store and just bought out of all Sharpies. She's passing out Sharpies at the end of the game because the players are signing the footballs that are caught. And this, just see it in those kids' eyes, just justified why I spent a week up all night long trying to get prepared, and everyone did.
Yeah.
Because the kids are they're finally being able to get on the field and see somebody
Right.
that is a professional athlete.
It's a superhero.
It's a
to them.
superhero to
Yeah.
them, and it's great.
Here's another thing too that players, I'm sure players understand it and can grasp it. Like the 8-year-old will remember that when they're 28.
Absolutely.
That will matter to them still.
So we went to Salvation Army last week on a Thursday evening. Their after school program, inner city Salvation Army, the Boys and Girls Club right around the corner from Hirsch.
Yeah.
We had 25 kids. We did a football camp for them. We gave them some tickets for them and their parents to come to the game. It's life-changing when an inner-city kid that wants to play football gets a football camp and then can go on the field and see that same player and watch them. That connection is permanent.
Oh, and the player remembers them.
And the players are just they're incredible humans.
They're
They're
so good to
incredible
watch.
people.
I want to brag, one of your guys, one of your studs, Eric Thomas, Shreveport's own Eric
Tank.
Thomas,
Tank.
He and I were great friends in high school. We played football together. Of course, I was the little white guy in the slot, and he
Yeah.
was the slightly bigger, larger guy on
Yeah.
the outside.
Yeah.
I called the 5-yard slant,
Yep.
so he could catch the 95-yard touchdown. I was so excited to see that he was back in town and playing for the Rouxgaroux, and he seems to be doing well.
Shreveport product, Evangel,
yeah.
Troy, NFL. It's a great. I never met him. I saw him
kid,
play
yeah.
Evangel. I never really spent any time with him. He is a very passionate professional, and all of them are. But every time I walk in there, he shakes my hand and said, how you doing?
That's
I
awesome.
said, how are you doing? How are you doing? He said,
Right.
I'm locked in, baby. That's all we say. I'm
yeah.
locked in, baby.
He's the man. I was so pumped for him. I've said for years, and I'm not just saying this because I played with him. I was at Evangel for a while and got to know, I'm very much knowledgeable on the history of Evangel, and so many amazing athletes have came out of that school and out of that football program. I've told everybody that he's top 3, and if you say he's not, you're lying. You're just wrong.
Well, that's a tough top 3,
It's
but I
tough
agree
top
with you.
3,
That's
but if you got to see him just the way that he was
Yeah.
already at that age,
Yeah.
he was so, like, you couldn't take your eyes off of him,
Yeah.
and there was never a ball that
Who's
was.
the other two?
There's, I would say, Abram Booty,
Okay.
which is
All
probably
right.
controversial as well.
Probably. You're going
And,
to fight Josh over that one?
Maybe what's that?
We'll fight Josh over that one.
Well, I was gonna say I'd probably either put Josh at
Really?
1, or I'd put now look at me.
Brock?
Yeah, Brock. I mean,
Jacob?
Brock won the national championship, didn't
Jacob?
he? Jacob's in the top 5 for me, and he knows that. He doesn't like
Jacob's
that.
number 1.
Oh
Jacob's
yeah.
number 1 for me.
Oh, I mean,
for a couple of reasons.
a
I'll throw it
million
out.
rushing
I'll throw it out.
yards.
I'll throw it out for you. You ready
Yeah,
for me?
let's do it.
The day after I became co-owner of the Rouxgaroux, I drove straight over to D1 and walked in.
Yeah.
I said, man, look, we're doing this. We're fixing to announce it next week. We want some help. Ethan calls me back an hour later, says, hey, I just talked to the owner.
Oh, it's cool.
We're on whatever
deal.
you need.
That's
and that was
awesome,
our
man.
first partner, other than the Hirsch, that said, we want in on this deal. Jacob, Ethan over there, they have done amazing work with our athletes. They're there every day, 10 to 12 during the season. They are doing an amazing job. So shout out to Jacob.
Jacob's
D1.
number 1 now on my list too.
Yeah.
It was just that easy.
And just give the ball to Jacob, right? He won us to announce championship. You give the ball to Jacob.
He's so good.
3 yards out, you give the ball to Jacob, right?
Everyone
He's
knows
3
the
yards out.
rules.
I don't care what down it is. You give the ball to Jacob.
You're
so
right. That's hard. That's hard.
He has served up a solution for our athletes that we have no one late. They're there for 2 hours. They're working out. They love it. It is a great experience. I was just over there today.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful experience. So shout out to that.
I made the mistake once talking with Tim Fletcher years ago. We were talking about Evangel and Evangel football, and I made the horrible mistake of telling him that I was a top 100 athlete to ever come out of Evangel. And he, and there's a little performance in that statement, in
Right.
the moment, but I still said it with the thought process of I can go to war with them on this and make a good argument, that would be enjoyable to listeners. And I'm telling you, he listed about 800 Evangel players, and I was like, yeah, no argument.
Yeah.
Top 1,000 though.
Yeah, absolutely. I would put you in the top 1,000.
I'll take that.
But you're number 1 in the media hearts of Shreveport.
Well, that's true. Although Jacob has me beat there in media overall, he's just crushing it.
I mean,
these
he's crushing
days.
it.
He's crushing
He's a
it.
great guy.
He really is a great
great
guy.
guy. And all those guys that I know are great. And,
Yeah.
And going back, Tank, he's in my top 3 too, because now I know what kind of person he is.
Yeah, man.
And what kind of athlete he is, and he's very competitive, and he is when we played a couple of these teams, he's a man among boys.
He really is.
He is a man
You can just see
among
him kind of. There was one play in the season opener that he made. It was a bomb just across the field, and there's no way he can catch this ball. The ball's underthrown. Tank's huge. Cornerbacks between him and the ball, and he reaches over his freaking face and pulls it out of his chest.
Yeah.
And like, think about from a defensive player's perspective, like, you just got owned, son.
And they're double teaming him now, right?
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Go to the bus, kid. Yeah, that's exactly right.
And you know, it's
double teaming in this league has to be a real risk because
very big risk.
How many players are on the field?
7.
7. Yeah.
7 on 7.
Yeah.
And so we, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 8 on 8. 8 on 8. 8 on 8. And we have a strong running game because of Tank. They're having to double team him.
Yeah.
And they're having to spy our quarterback. That's 3 players
that are just immediately gone before the snap.
They're going to rush 3.
Yeah, man.
And you got awesome. 2 more, and we're running on that opposite side, and our running back's got the most yards in NAL right now. So it's, and I'm not a coach. I don't do, and that's the other thing. I've stipulated this. You know, I'm not that guy, right?
Right.
I don't coach. I mean, I'm there for support.
Right.
But I do not coach. I do not analyze. I'm there. I'm there as the player's partner, my partner's partner, the coach's partner. What do you need? You need water, I'll go fill up a water tank, right? You need towels, I'll go get towels. But I'm not going to tell you how to play because I'm not an athlete and I'm not a coach.
Yeah.
So that actually pulls me out that I can make sure that they're getting taken care of, and that's what's made it even more fun for me.
I can't wait to talk about the season, the inaugural season.
I'm sorry, I'm taking too much time.
No, not at all. Not at all. I love this. Like I said, Johnny knows, the toe knows, I can do this for 3 hours. Like, I get lost sometimes.
Right.
And I enjoy the conversation so much. And then I have a 3-hour podcast at the end of the day. And I'm like, man, I got to figure this one out. And then the toe doesn't talk to me for 3 weeks because I got him late. I want to talk about the inaugural season, and it's been so much fun so far, and certainly not done yet. We're at the midway point now. I want to talk about how the season's gone, where the season's going to go. Before I get to that, before we take just a very quick break, can you tell me if they want to look at your schedule, if they want to buy tickets, where can they go to do that?
Very simple. It's go, G-E-A-U-X.
Naturally.
Roux, R-O-U-X. Just like I said, August 15th at 11 a.m. Every good Cajun dish starts with a roux. So every good arena team's going to start with a roux, R-O-U-X.
Love that.
Go Rouxgaroux.com. If you want to get technical, it's tickets.
Yeah.
.GoRouxgaroux.com. Takes you straight there.
Right. We
have the same Igniter program that Mudbugs do. We have, and I'll throw this out there, season tickets. We're over 1,300 season tickets.
So affordable too.
500 of those tickets were sold last year because they were Mudbug season ticket holders that came in to buy our season ticket and had no idea about arena football, but wanted to sit in the exact same spot they were at the Mudbugs.
Man.
So we opened this up, which was Musket and Page's idea. Open this up and let them come physically pick their seat. So they went. They didn't know what their seat was with the Mudbugs. They knew just where they sat, right?
Yeah.
Because they've been sitting there for 10 years.
Yeah.
They went and said, I want these seats. They buy them on the site. So 500 of our season tickets were because of Mudbugs season ticket holders.
Right.
So we're already at 1,300.
Well, and no one will support you like a Mudbugs fan, like just sight unseen.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is love for Muskie, love for the Mudbugs, and love for a lot of that too is love for, like, for instance, if the Mudbugs trust a team to come in, they know they're going to get great stuff.
Yeah.
They just know that.
And so when you go on the Igniter program, you actually it'll give you the best ticket available. You can pick our platinum, our gold, our maroon, depending on where you want to sit. You pick your seat out. It's buy it online. You get an email. You can print that ticket off, or you can put it on your phone for the QR code. We got the entire operation of the man. It's just. I mean,
we got, not counting playoffs, we have 3 home games left this season. Correct?
4 home games.
Okay, sorry.
So we have one out of league.
Oh, okay.
That's in the next 3 weeks. So we, when we were setting up our schedule, we knew that we're going to be in flux on this April 12th home weekend.
Okay.
Because if the Mudbugs, which I believe they will, are going to make the playoffs, they're going to have a home game that weekend, which, of course, the Mudbugs has in our contract will have first right to that night. Right. So we can flex that, but we made that an out-of-league game, so we didn't flex a league game.
Smart.
So we're doing a semi-pro team out of Dallas again to come in, kind of a mid-season tune-up. It's a home game. It'll look exactly like everything. these guys are pumped because they don't get to come play in front of 3,000 people in an arena. So they're pumped. They come over like we had the Dallas Falcons at our preseason game. So this is an out-of-league mid-season tune-up. So we're going to play three. We played 3 home games.
Okay.
We're going to have a home game some there out of season, and then we got our last 3 home games, which we're going to correct everything that is disorganized and not together for now. And these last 3 league games, I think that we're going to be in a run to get in the playoffs.
Man,
this year.
that's exciting.
And that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I love that. I have no doubt, though. I can't wait to talk about the first win of the season. I know that was exciting for you and the players, and talk about what's to come. Before we get into that, of course, Keith Carter is our guest today. He's the co-owner of your Shreveport Rouxgaroux. We're going to dive deeper into the Rouxgaroux next, but first, a word from our friends at Hargrove Roofing.
Here at Hargrove Roofing, we try to think outside the box to kind of get the creative juices flowing. So I brought in my friend Stevie Lee, former defensive tackle for the Texas Longhorns. He's going to help the team strategize, really motivate them, light a fire.
This guy's going to block down. This guy's going to block down. You put your butt into the guard, and that way my Mike linebacker gets free to do what?
Not only are they going to learn a thing or two, but they're going to also leave with a great attitude and a bunch of smiles on their faces.
I'm sorry, what does this have to do with roofing exactly?
Get out.
Right now.
I said get out.
For me, that's what it's all about. It's just having fun, making our employees have a great time. Hargrove Roofing, know who's on your roof.
We are back. It's the Shreveportant podcast. We're happy to get back in the routine of things. Our last guest was Clarence Reese Jr., of course, the chief of fire here in the city of Shreveport. And then the Toe and I'd say we just scheduling lately. And we've worked out a new deal where every single week we're going to give you an episode, and I can commit to that. You can as well, I hope.
Toe is committed.
You have to hold it. I don't know if you know how
The
microphones
Toe
work.
is committed.
I just want you guys, put the camera on me now, Toe.
It is on you. It's been on you.
I just asked this man a question, and he's almost sitting with his arms crossed with the microphone face down on the table, and you had a full response.
I'm used to a mic stand here.
Wow.
And I got no mic stand. I got to use my hand.
Obviously, our budget is going
Just like
up.
every night.
Yeah, that's not an unfamiliar situation for you, I'm sure. Obviously, we have a lot of money here at the Shreveportant podcast, and we lost our mic stand. So sponsor us, man. Let's get the Toe and mic stand. Let's do this together. The Shreveportant podcast would never be successful or popular or anything if it's just me, because who wants to watch that? There has to be a Shreveportant guest each and every week, and of course we have that for you today. Please welcome back Keith Carter with the Shreveport Rouxgaroux.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I love it, man. Can I say I love your announcers you have at the Rouxgaroux. I know one of them pretty well, and then his dad is the PA announcer. How'd you get them both?
So
Jacob and his dad.
someone, unannounced, unnamed, bailed out on us.
Oh, well,
So,
that's
yeah.
not the way that they.
So someone that I asked during a Mudbug game, dude, we know the same people. We don't know each other yet. You know my brother, my niece, Bob. I said, I want you to help us out, and
That's crazy, man.
And
That's
someone
crazy.
bailed. I'm not going unnamed, but
I
Must
hate-
be somebody close to both of us. Right?
Yeah,
very
that's true.
in the vicinity.
I really hate that Robert J. Wright did that.
Yeah.
he would have been a
So-
great announcer.
Yeah.
No, when I caught wind
So
that
we got
Rouxgaroux-
the second string.
when the
We got second
Rouxgaroux
string.
played, that's not true. He's first string. They're so great, and it's not easy to do that. And they
I'm
both
joking with
make it
them.
look so easy. And just for the record, if the Rouxgaroux played primarily on Fridays, I'd never miss a game. But what's really funny is the first 2 Saturday games for the Rouxgaroux. No, I believe the first Saturday game, I had a wedding. It was a Pentecostal wedding. That sucker was done by 6, baby.
Yep.
I was at the Rouxgaroux game. Let's
And,
go.
because I think we had cocktails on the beef game.
Yeah.
You had cocktails then.
We did.
So so Jacob.
Jacob Zafferter.
So I'm going to give him his props, but you got to go to our YouTube to watch it. He wore a green leather jacket for our game. That was his great grandfather's.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day, the 50s. And it's unbelievable. If I could wear it, I was going to wear it. It's unbelievable. So you have to go see that.
You're going to buy it off his back?
Man, I was
going to
buy it. I
that
said,
sucker.
dude, that's legit. He said, yeah, it's my grandfather's.
Yeah.
Like, it's my grandfather. Like,
I did that at Mardi Gras this year. A girl was
Yeah.
wearing a jacket I wanted. I was like, how much? And she said $60. I gave her $60. I got the jacket. And she said I bought it on Amazon for $12.
And the beads.
I hate her.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he.
Yeah, so
Jacob's the man.
his dad's doing the PA.
Jay
Yeah.
is his dad's name.
Yep.
His dad really brought karaoke DJing to Shreveport years ago. A lot of people don't know that. A fun fact about Jay Zaffeder. They're both incredibly talented, though, and Jay has a very, I didn't know he had done PA. Maybe he hadn't done PA before, but you would have no way of knowing,
Right.
because he really captures that Rouxgaroux excitement
Right.
for every play, and Jacob does great with the work he does as well. So
So they're both getting that background, first experience with arena football. So we're sitting down and doing some more game promo, and they're really hitting it. And you saw it this last game. I don't know if you see what you see online of Jay and even Jacob. They're getting that the wolf howl, and so we're getting some Howl at the Moon music, and we're getting some Werewolf in London, and we're getting some things going here, man. And it's the light show, the LEDs, the halftime, the game ops. I mean,
it's moving.
I mean, we've got the Fairway Carts, little plug, future sponsor of Shreveportant. Fairway Carts putting us some golf carts out there, pages out there,
cool.
pushing some T-shirts out. We've got some T-shirt sponsors.
Yeah, man.
For our next promo nights, it's going to be amazing.
So I'll tell you one thing that I love about game ops and game operations is in the moment, you know what can go right and what can go wrong. And a lot of times, Paige will tell you, Paige and I have had some fights, where we really get in. Paige is the game ops manager with the Mudbugs, she's incredible. Like, she's so good, and she works with the Rouxgaroux as well. She and I have had, moments during games because I've messed something up. And it's crazy. Game ops fans don't know that you mess anything up.
Right.
Like, it's like a lot of times it's us getting worked up about something that only we know because we know how it should have gone, where fans don't. But the really cool thing about game ops is the sky's the limit. Like, it's your mind is really the only thing limiting what you can do within that set amount of time when the game stops or pauses, and you have the pieces in place that's just going to take that, which is a very important moment for the fans at these games, when there's a pause in action to keep their interest and keep them entertained. That's no easy task. And with the crew you have, I just wanted to point out how great they all
they're
are.
doing a great job.
And the sky's the limit, man.
And it's the same, but it's different, right? So when we started doing this, I went behind the scenes. That's where I met you. I stood up at the back, and I started watching the behind the scenes of how it took so many people to get the ice prepared, to get cheerleaders on the little ice and all the ice things, right?
Yeah.
So then looking at it with turf, we're going to have so many things that we're bringing to the home games, from trucks to some very exciting things. You got to be there to see this. You got to experience it.
Can you tell me what happens when the transition does come while there is still ice? Is it a layer of ice and a layer of something than the turf?
So, So they we have a 24-hour turnaround. We can make that a hockey rink to an arena football rink back to a hockey rink in 24 hours.
We got to get Alan, the guy who shot with us that came in. He has the On the Hook podcast. Alan, I'm so mad that I can't think of his name. He shoots for you guys.
Yep.
You need to get him to do like a time lapse video, man.
Yeah, that would be a cool
great.
idea.
Hockey,
and we had hockey can play, and we scheduled it out, right. So we have weeks. So it's a hockey Friday, Saturday, and then it's a full week until our game on that weekend. Then it's a full week to the next hockey game. So we have a 2-week turnaround, which doesn't make it as rushed. But what we come in and do is we take the glass down. They freeze the ice. We put a foam insulation on top of the ice, and they come back on top of that with the turf, and then seal the turf, put dasher boards around the walls, and then we get all that cleaned up, and we hang the goalposts. So in arena football, the goalposts are hanging from the rafters.
Yeah,
so it is amazing time lapse there.
That'd be a great time lapse video.
From Muskie, of course. You know where Muskie's going to be. Guess where he'll be?
He'll be working somewhere.
He'll be working. He'll be on the forklift. Yeah. He handles the forklift for everything. And now we've got a team of a company has come in and contracted with us to help us take the turf down and put the turf back up. And so it like I said earlier, it takes a village, man.
Yeah, man.
It takes a village.
We'll have to get our boy Alan Wilson. I can't believe I couldn't think of his last name a second ago, but he does great work, and I've seen him shoot all of your Rouxgaroux games so far, man. We can tell him to set up a camera so we can.
He had the very.
He's got a rig.
Yeah, he's got a. I mean, I was like, man, because we had another media company that's volunteering to come help us get at media, and he was there on the field in the corner, and he just got slammed.
Oh,
I
really?
mean, it was a downfield play.
Oh, no.
And he was filming, and he just got run over, dude. No. He thought he broke his camera. So yeah,
Well, you're on the field.
Yeah, you're on the field. I mean, the field. There's no
part of
sideline. You're at the dashboard. You're on the field. You're there, right? So you're in the action. So it's an amazing sport.
Well, hey, I can go ahead and make this announcement now before the end of the Rouxgaroux season, hopefully to promote the season finale. I indeed. Is that how you say that?
Absolutely not.
Don't talk into the microphone, please. I don't ever like. Yeah, please don't worry about holding it up to your mouth though when I'm talking to you. I indeed will be trying out for the Shreveport Rouxgaroux. What are my chances?
Well, I can tell you this: you will not go on our workers' comp because
Those
as
are
good
the
of an athlete as you were
Hey, what can I say?
and are,
Oh yes, absolutely. Look at me.
I would, if I were you, go out to D1 and see these guys work out before I would just. You need to know who you're going to head up against.
For
right?
sure. I think, I honestly think if I did that, the video wouldn't happen. I think I
Yeah.
would see that, and that would be the end of it. It
So
would-
I'm excited about it, and
Yeah.
we're pumped for that, and got some promotional commitments for you. I'd like to announce on the air that one of our local Channel 12 stations, KSLA, wants to do an exclusive and wants to probably pick up Shreveportant and
Oh, very
wants
cool.
to kind of highlight this little thing that you want to do. And
That's
I got
awesome.
a commitment, so.
So my
that's
death
amazing.
will be
we'll
it'll
be
come with
publicized
rewards.
even more. Yeah, if
Yes.
it's something you want to do, I mean, you own your media, you own your thing. So
We would have done it already, but my lawyer's out of
Yeah.
town. I wanted to
Yeah.
get the will straightened out.
correct, because my insurance company wanted to be sure that you were. This was
Yes.
all the waivers were signed.
Well, I had to see who in my family was getting my $4,000 car and my 8 packs of ramen noodles, and they start fighting, and then it gets nasty. So, yes, I will be trying out for the Shreveport Rouxgaroux. The real question is, Keith, now,
Yep.
hypothetically,
Yeah.
I
Hypothetical.
show up to my Rouxgaroux tryout. You know, I got my full uni on. I got the 318 on the side. Your helmets are awesome, by the way. 318 and then the Rouxgaroux on the outside. I love it. I show up. What if I turn some heads? What if I'm still an athlete? What if
Man.
there's still an athlete in there and I let that beast eat
Yeah.
on your Rouxgaroux?
Oh, absolutely. Well,
Do I make the team?
Hey, I'm gonna have the contract ready because our roster's 25. We dress out 21.
Yeah.
We brought a bunch of people from all over the country last year. Early this year, we had 2 tryouts. Second tryout, where 58 professional athletes came to our tryout to make the team.
Oh, yeah.
We've got I don't make any of those decisions. These coaches have to make the decision to get this to 25 every week. All you got to be is number 25. Don't be number 26.
Just got to get in there.
You're going to get in there.
25, I'm in there.
And you're 25, you're in, and then you dress out for 21. So
Yeah.
you got to be the top 21 and what the game plan looks like, right?
Yeah, man.
So we don't dress out 4 because we don't usually dress out a kicker. You
Okay.
got 21 athletes. A kicker is going to produce 1-3 points a game, but if I put in a baller, a skilled player
Like me.
like Jay Watley, that could turn into 6, 12, 18 points.
That's true.
So
That's true.
J.J. Watley,
That's my fantasy name in
yeah.
fantasy football. How'd
J.J.
you know?
Watley. So we put you in there. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
we'd go with
I'd
a
like
mid-20s.
I'd like
mid-20s
to
number.
return kicks at my
Yeah.
first Rouxgaroux tryout. What do you think of that? Live
So
action?
there is 25 professional athletes that are waiting to kick a ball for you to get a 30-yard head start to introduce you to Rouxgaroux football.
Yeah.
And
me about the
possibly to
Manimal. Would he be-
LSUER after that. I'm
Well,
just saying.
it's pretty close. Luckily for me, LSUER is pretty close to George's Pond.
And we'll get your last guest, Chief Clarence Reese, to make sure we have some transportation available.
Trust me. An ambulance will be on the field. They won't be off to the side. They will be always present.
It would be that was going to be fun.
Me
We're looking forward to it.
one-on-one with the Manimal.
Yep, maybe so.
Do you like? I mean, do I have any chance of survival?
Well,
or?
we've got a couple. I can put you 1-on-one with Brandon, 6'7", 350. We could try.
No biggie.
We could try the Wolfman Chase, our center. 6'2", 310.
I could just see if I can get through him and get to like a little quarterback dummy.
And then we can get
Yeah.
you to maybe chase Rocket a little bit. He's small. He's the smallest athlete we had, number 4.
What's his name?
The Rocket.
The Rocket.
Yeah, the
and he's your
Rocket.
smallest. So
Yeah.
how big is your smallest
He's
Rouxgaroux?
5'8", 5'9".
So he's a giant.
Yeah, 3'9", 40, 3'9" in the 40. He's pretty quick, pretty
Oh,
fast.
that's
nimble.
3'9" and a 40.
Yeah.
That's not that fast.
Yeah, it's not that fast. And then we've got
He's playing for the Rouxgaroux to train for the Olympics.
and I believe being the promo guy that I'm trying to learn, I think you go head to head with Tank, an Evangel versus Evangel.
yeah. Well, that would have to happen.
Yeah,
man.
I think that would have to happen. I think he loves you so much, he would take it easy on you. But he's the best athlete we have on the field.
Do you know what's great about Tank? Because I can tell you what's going to happen. Tank's he would totally let me run a route against him, and he would let me get open. He'd probably let me get 20 yards past him, and he'd still catch the ball.
Yeah.
He's that guy. He's that good.
And then number 2, Denarius Antoine, NFL experience, arena football veteran.
If you go to a Rouxgaroux game, what's his first name and last name?
Denarius
Antoine
from New Iberia.
If you watch the Rouxgaroux play, you will fall in love with number 2. He is everywhere on the field.
You know his nickname?
I'm hoping it's not something that'll make me scared, Keith.
His nickname is Cheat Code. He is the PlayStation Cheat Code. He is the athlete. He can play every position on that field. He is the quarterback spy on our defense. It's an amazing human and an amazing athlete.
Wow, this
crazy.
should be a lot of fun.
But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you up against. I'm going to put you as a wide receiver. Let you go out and get some passes from Terry, and I'm going to put Zach the Cannibal Hannibal.
Oh, that's the guy. I called him the Manimal. I combined it all.
Zach the Cannibal. He's a very humble 6'3", 240-pound, all-state from Ouachita High School, all-conference from Louisiana Tech, Canadian football experience.
Okay.
A bachelor's degree from Louisiana Tech. He's in his master's program. He's extremely intelligent, very humble,
very kind. I'm
very
sure.
kind. And he, when he gets locked, what the term is, locked in.
Oh yeah.
I would not want for him to hit me.
You wouldn't want me to be on the receiving end of him.
But he'll take care. But I think that's a great matchup.
Me and the Cannibal.
You and the Cannibal.
I am the Manimal. Manimal versus Cannibal.
J. Manimal Watley.
Hey, watch out. I can't wait for this. We're going to have this shot and ready for everyone in the coming weeks. Keith Carter is our guest today, co-owner with your Shreveport Rouxgaroux. Right in the thick of it this season.
Yep.
Guys coming off real hot off of your first regular season win.
Yeah, excited.
What was that game like?
So the Wheeling Miners, Wheeling, West Virginia, their coach is very animated. He's been coaching. He's coach and operations guy. He is all in it. He coaches 25 hours of every single day. He's all in it.
Yeah.
He projected himself to be coach of the year, team of the year, offense of the year, and win the national championship. And basically dismissed us on the podcast with the league, said, we're coming to Shreveport. I'm going to eat some gumbo and take the win.
I love that.
He got Southern Classic chicken and a long drive home.
Well, at least you gave him the best chicken we have to offer.
Unbelievable. So one of our sponsors, Small Dig, Southern Classic, we feed the team because they usually get on the bus and they head back out. We're getting them boxes of Southern Classic. The owners called me and said, dude, I don't know what y'all did, this chicken that they keep talking about, but it's the best chicken they've ever had. I said, that's Southern Classic.
It's
baby.
the best.
Yeah, it's the best. Whatever.
There's a reason the line wraps around the building at all hours of all days.
Of all locations.
You want to open up one with me? Let's go.
Absolutely.
That's that first win, though. I know that.
It's huge for us.
Can I say this, though, too? Even against the Beef, I mean, that's the standard bearer of the league and of arena football in general. You guys put up a fight against them, too.
We did.
So
We did.
you could already see things maybe clicking, maybe offensively. We're going to cut all of that out, by the way. Maybe offensively and defensively, you're noticing things and adjustments to make. So to get your first win so quick, what was the celebration like?
It was great. Look, I didn't go to all the after parties. I'm too old for that. But the players had a great time. It's different when you win, right? Arena football is a great thing. Omaha Beef, two-time reigning national champion, been around 20 years. They came down and we gave them a fight, right? And we really had this team made the Wednesday before that Saturday because we had to build that roster. It's preseason. We'd done so we hadn't meshed completely. We met meshing for Wheeling, coming off of a win. We've had a great team practice. I'm not a coach. I don't do anything with coaching. I don't do anything at all. I'm just that observer, right? I'm a conscious observer. We go to Idaho next week. We're flying the guys out on Wednesday. We play on Thursday night in the arena in Idaho, in Boise, Idaho. It's going to be televised. We're going to have a watch party here. The guys are locked in. I just saw them today at D1. They're locked in.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I just walked through. I fist bump 25 guys. They say nothing to me. I fist bump them. A couple of them give me a hug. They're locked in, dude.
Yeah.
And we're going to Idaho and we're going to take that win
That's
because
awesome.
they can taste the blood in the water.
Hey, and look, in Idaho, there ain't nothing to do but watch arena football. There can't be anything else going on up there.
No, they're locked in.
Yeah,
So it's the Idaho Horsemen Thursday night, 7:00.
Okay, you mentioned there's a watch party.
There's going to be a couple watch parties here. So,
Okay, to be announced?
Yep, it will be announced that, and a couple of sponsors are going to be streaming that in, and we're excited. We're just we've got some loyal fans. It comes off of just Shreveport, right?
Yeah.
It comes off of the Mudbugs and the Battle Wings and the Shreveport captains, and there's so many people that I see walking around that thing that said, I haven't been out here since coming to the captain's game. Well, I used to come to the captain's game, right?
Yeah.
So my connection with the things that are going on with Shreveport, just in the news 2 days ago at the Shreveport City Council, the mayor, it's like, look, we've got roots here. We can put organic roots in Shreveport Bossier and the Arklatex, and that's a great location to do it. We're playing arena football in 2025. Elvis sang in the Hirsch. ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Van Halen, my first concert, was at Hirsch.
Yeah, man.
So
It's a historic building.
it's historic, right? Yeah. And Shreveport is historic, and this is something that the community has opened their arms up, and we're excited. I'm just blessed to be a part of it. I really am.
So we still at least have 4 home games. I
Yep.
say at least because playoffs are very much in picture here. But at least 4 more home games. You can go online and get your tickets. You can pre-order them. You can get season tickets. You can contact the team, I'm sure, all on your website, which
All on
is
the website.
GoRouxgaroux.com.
GoRouxgaroux.com.
GEAUX, of course. It's a Louisiana thing. What about if a school, maybe a school or an organization, they see the community work that you guys are doing? What if they're interested in having you out? What's that process like if they would like to get you guys involved?
So we've got I've got volunteers that are helping. Our fan club, the Roux Krewe.
Roux Krewe?
Roux Krewe is our fan club because our mascot's the Roux. And the crew, work with me here. It's
I'm working.
ROUX, Roux.
Yeah.
Crew. KREWE, baby.
Oh, little Mardi Gras.
Little Mardi
Cajun,
Gras,
like a
little Roux
combo
Krewe.
nation.
So Facebook Roux Krewe, Heather Fontenot, shout out. She has done as a volunteer, a fantastic job organizing our fan club, getting some volunteers involved. They're reaching out to schools. They're helping us. We had amazing turnout. We had our players go out. Schools are just opening their arms up. The kids are responding to these athletes. So just email us.
Yeah.
Get on the website. You can email me. Mine is easy. It's Keith, KEITH, at GoRouxgaroux.com. Email me, ask me what you did. We'll do anything I can.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I can sit here all day from my experiences at the games, and I can tell our viewers, and I can tell my friends, and I can tell those in the community why you'd love to go to a Rouxgaroux game, right? You'd love it because the football's incredible. And it is jarring. Like, the hits are going to blow your mind, right? The entertainment is there as well, and the intimacy between you, your family, your little ones, and the team, it's just like nothing else going in the community. In your own words, Keith, when they come to their first Rouxgaroux game, what are they going to experience, and why are they going to want to come back?
They're going to get off the interstate, and they're going to get in the line to get in the gate. That's the first thing they're going to notice. They're going to go, hold on, there's a line of cars getting in here, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to park safely, and they're going to pass our parking attendants and all the people that are tailgating. They're going to walk into the hearse. They're going to get their ticket. They're going to get their scan. They're going to go straight up to the merch booth. They're going to go get boudin egg rolls, meat pies, adult beverages, Cokes, popcorn, vending.
Maybe a little fireball.
Maybe if you're lucky, you bought a Club 34, which is the private club that has dinner before the game.
Yeah.
Rumor has it the very best dirty rice and red beans and rice in the world is made there.
Rumor confirmed.
Yep. And last week we had a sponsor that brought some of the best barbecue chicken, the whole works, the barbecue chicken. So you can buy a dinner there. You can have a bar with soft drinks and adult beverages. You're going to walk into the hearse, and the electricity starts an hour before the game. You're going to see them warming up. You're going to feel the electricity. You're going to see get signed up for the kids to come down on the field for activities during the game. You're going to have family fun. You're going to look down at the suites of people that are having a party in the suite, and they're high-fiving players, and you're going to feel a sense of community. You're going to feel a sense of sports and athleticism, and it's just a good time to be had. So I appreciate you and having me and supporting the Rouxgaroux like you're doing.
I'm pumped. Like I said, I've wanted it. I hope that I survive my Rouxgaroux tryout so we can have many more years of growth and success?
When I told him I would text him when I got done because I was going to size you up for him. So
Yeah.
I'm giving him the stats back.
Well, I want
So
you to let them know that I ain't fucking around when I show up, all right? I'm coming and let me tell you this.
I'm just telling you,
I'm going to wear the eye black.
come with the eye
I am
black.
coming. There will be no jokes told that day.
Yes.
And
tape your ankles.
And if you kill me, just know
Yeah.
you're leaving 2 daughters fatherless,
Yeah,
and I hope you sleep
and,
well at
you
night.
know, if you don't mind,
Yep.
bring your allergies and your medication list, and and in case of emergency, contact fill in the blank.
Yes,
So.
yes, dude, I really am. I'm beyond excited. I'm so proud of what you've done already. I mean, if you go to the games, I know that you've said you're ironing out kinks, but I tried to make a note of that a lot of the kinks that we notice, a lot of fans don't notice. From my perspective, like, I know each game you learn different ways and better ways to do certain things, but it seems like you've been around for 5-10 years already.
Appreciate that.
And it's a great experience. So I can't recommend it enough. This season, 4 more games at least with the Shreveport Rouxgaroux at George's Pond. You can get tickets at gorouxgaroux.com. Now, Keith, the question that I finish every interview with,
All right.
I want you to think about it now because
All
I feel like I know each other well enough. I feel like I know you well enough.
Yep.
To know, I don't know many bad things about Keith Carter, but we're about to put you to the test. Can you tell me the worst thing about being Keith Carter, and can you tell me the best thing about being Keith Carter?
The worst thing about being Keith Carter is that I have no more time because I've got all the irons in the fire.
Yeah.
I've got an office that's waiting on me to come back for the 3 o'clock afternoon huddle that goes over our patients and stuff, and I don't have enough time in the day to express my passion of doing it right, no matter what company I'm working for. If it's the Rouxgaroux, it's the city of Shreveport, it's my Always Best Care plug, home care system. It's getting around to all the things that I need. That's the bad part about being.
Man.
There's not more of me, and there's not more of me that I can share. The good thing about it is, it's improvements are coming, right? And I try to be. I'm humble. Because I've been blessed with opportunities, with a great family and a great background and great opportunities throughout my life, and I'm at that stage that I don't want for anything. I only want to give back, and I want that legacy. So if I can just change one kid in Shreveport, if I can change one professional athlete that goes on to do great things in their life, but they remember me, the organization in Shreveport Rouxgaroux, and more important, Shreveport and what they did for them, hey man, that's it, right?
That's perfect.
And so, as stressed out as I have been at the games and the week before the games, and I told you this earlier, I'll end with this. I go back and I watch the games over and over and make notes of what we could do better and where, not the players and the coaches, but just all the things, right? Mm-hmm. We had a partner that we missed the banner. We couldn't find the banner. We forgot to put the banner up, right?
Right.
I take that personal. But at the end of that game, after watching that whole game for the 3rd time, as frustrated as I think I am, at the end of the game, those 30 and 40 kids that rush on the field to tackle our player, and that player's hugging these kids and they're giving them autographs, and these kids are holding this autographed ball that I just have a couple of sitting around, but this thing is going back to their home like I had that Nolan Ryan ball when I was a kid.
Absolutely.
That makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah.
That makes it all worthwhile. And that's all and that's organic, right?
Right.
That's the good part about it. That's what I want.
Well, luckily for me, I've had the privilege of knowing this version of Keith Carter for a while now. So I'm happy that our community has gotten to get to know you a little better if they haven't already, and see the kind of guy you are and your vision for the Rouxgaroux, because I think that's important. And we're just lucky to have you, and we're lucky to have the Shreveport Rouxgaroux.
Thank you.
And like I said, minimum 4 games, maybe more, with your Shreveport Rouxgaroux this season. You can get tickets. You can get any info, all the info you need at gorouxgaroux.com. Thank you to our Shreveportant guest today, Keith Carter.
Thank
Come
you so
on,
much.
baby. Lay it on me.